After a multinational inquiry, a UN investigative committee issued its report on the dire human rights situation in North Korea. Our Eoh Jin-joo has more on how the high-profile team says the violations deserve criminal investigation.
What do you say was actually happening at that time?
사실 수용소에서는 이제 1년에 2번씩 꼭꼭 공개 채용이라는 것을 합니다.
After a year-long investigation, the United Nations has concluded that there have been systematic, widespread, and grave violations of human rights in North Korea. In a detailed report released Monday, the UN Commission of Inquiry on Human Rights in North Korea defined the abuses as, quote, crimes against humanity, which means that most of them were based on policies and decisions made by the North Korean regime in an effort to maintain a grip on power. The crimes are spread over 9 areas: violation of freedom of expression, ideology, and religion, discrimination based on origin, violations of the right to movement, violations of the right to food, which then leads to issues regarding the right to life, arbitrary detention, torture, and violations associated to prison camps and abductions of foreigners. The 372-page report emphasized the need to hold government institutions, including North Korea's State Security Department and even the Supreme Leader himself, responsible for the crimes, and called for fundamental changes within the country to enhance human rights conditions. In particular, the UN Commission said the international community has the responsibility to protect North Koreans by applying the so-called responsibility to protect status to the communist state. The report then urged the international community and the UN to refer the human rights violations in North Korea to the UN Security Council, which could pave the way for criminal prosecution of the North Korean regime at an international court. It also called for stronger and continued UN efforts to enhance the human rights situation in the North, such as setting up an organization that could be in charge of follow-up measures to the investigation. The UN Commission of Inquiry is expected to report its results at a general meeting of the UN Commission on Human Rights on March 17th and adopt a resolution on North Korean human rights later that month. Eoh Jin-joo, Arirang News.